You won't believe which of these three countries taxes people the most. And it's not the one you're thinking. Welcome to episode 8 of my 1 year in the UK series. Hi, my name is Dami and I moved from Toronto to the UK last year. Today, we're talking about taxes between the UK, US, and Canada. So here in the UK, income tax is progressive. So you pay 20% on your income up to £50,000. Then after that is 40%, and then 45% once you hit £125,000. You also pay towards national insurance, and once you hit £50,000, there's a cap on it. So in Canada, it's similar. The only difference is that we have federal tax and provincial tax. Federal is about 15 to 33%. Depending on the province that you live in, I lived in Toronto, so that was Ontario for me. You're paying 5 to 13% in addition to your federal tax. So unlike the UK, Canada doesn't have a cap on your income. So the more you earn, the more you pay in taxes. In the US, there's also federal and state tax. So federal tax ranges from 10% to 37%. I lived in Massachusetts when I was in the States, and there's an additional 5% tax in Massachusetts as well. So even though taxes are lower in the US, it doesn't account for the fact that you're going to be paying for private health insurance, because unlike the UK and Canada, they don't have a universal healthcare there. So let's talk about corporate tax. In Canada, the setup is actually quite friendly, especially if you're running a small business. So in Canada, the corporate tax is 12 to 13% for Canadian controlled small businesses that are making under $500,000 Canadian dollars in income. And that covers federal and provincial tax combined. For larger corporations, you're looking at 26 to 27% in tax. So in the UK, you have a flat corporate tax rate of 25%. But if you're making less than £50,000 in profit, you're taxed at 19%. So the US also has a flat corporate tax of 21% on a federal level. And depending on the states that you're in, there's an additional 5 to 9%. So that kind of puts you around 26 to 30% corporate tax. So to summarize, Canada charges the highest tax overall, especially on personal income, but they give you healthcare and social safety programs. The UK is in the middle, and the US charges the lowest tax. But of course, that's also offset by higher out-of-pocket costs for healthcare and other things as well. So everyone complains about taxes being too high in their country, and that's fair. I think that's why it's useful to compare what's happening in different countries just to get a perspective and plan your finances and your lifestyle accordingly. So let me know what surprised you the most and how much taxes you're paying where you live. I'll see you in the next episode.